updates in the world of football.
Sterling for Liverpool. He's seen Henderson face to face with Fernandinho. Henderson! Oh wow! Lifts the Anfield roof. Company's error, yes.
Formula One.
Near him, because down the inside now comes Carlos Sainz on Lewis Hamilton. Sainz just squeezes Hamilton, who goes over the rumble strip.
Cycling, boxing, basketball, and lots more. Listen to us live on Sport Rush, Mondays to Fridays, 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. on Al-IyamoyeTv Radio. For more inquiries, please call 0806 242 9799. Sports Rush, your everyday dose of sports.
Welcome to Sport Vibe this morning on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio, where we give you the updates on sport all over the world today. And I am YAZID TAOHEED.
I'm sure the motion that's in this sport.
Okay, SMD. Starting with our Bayern Munich yesterday at the first match against Bremen, where they eventually won 4-0 with Sane with 2 goals and Harry Kane with a goal and Matthias Tel with the last goal at the 90th minute. I'm talking on Harry Kane. We see this is a good start for Harry Kane, and he will continue this till the end of the season.
You know, I said it yesterday. I said Bayern Munich win and
Kane will score, yeah.
And it's a very good debut for Harry Kane. The first game they played for Bayern Munich was not. They didn't went well against Al-IyamoyeTv. They were defeated 3-0. And now yesterday against Werder Bremen they won 4-0. He had an assist. And he also scored a goal for Bayern Munich. And I know he's now coming because it's been a while that Bayern Munich have a striker like that after Lewandowski left Bayern Munich for Barcelona on a small amount of transfer fee. I think Bayern Munich will be able to have a good striker at the end of the year now. He's going to score loads of goals for Bayern Munich. There's no doubt around that, and a lot of improvement in the play for Harry Kane, because the coach that's on now for Harry Kane, Thomas Tuchel, we know how Thomas Tuchel used to coach his side very well. He scored loads of goals for Bayern Munich, and I know this season I think Bayern Munich should be able to get the German Bundesliga. That would be the hard work of Thomas Tuchel, because the last Bundesliga was not. I can't say it's the hard work of Thomas Tuchel. I think it's from Nagelsmann just came in, and it was fortunate enough because of the Borussia Dortmund misfortune that makes Bayern Munich to get the trophy. And I know Harry Kane will eventually do well for Bayern Munich.
Okay, in the third place of the Women's World Cup going on now at 54th minute for Sweden, already 1 goal ahead of Australia, 1-0 against one of the hosts of the Women's World Cup. Sweden wins the third place over Australia, or Australia are preparing a comeback against Sweden.
I still believe with the likes of Ken Samke, I think they can come back to at least have a bronze medal to show that at least they host the World Cup at their home ground, and they got something going with, at least with the third place, because it's very quite unfortunate at the game they lost against England. Whereby they came back to score 1-1 from Samke, but eventually are not having much player that can do the work for Australia. Let's Australia down, and look at England. They came out, and with all of the players there, Williams, Tony, and this guy Ruzu. They came out of their shell, and they won the game from England. So I still believe Australia will still come back in the game. It's still early. You can't just say Sweden will win the game like that. I still believe Australia will still come back in the game.
Okay, let's go down to the Gunners. Arsenal FC. As we see, Arsenal are losing one of the top transfer they made this season, the like of Julian Timber. And now Arsenal have been scavenging in the market for a player to replace. Do you think Arsenal really need to get another player as a replacement for Julian Timber, or they are good to go with likes of Tierney and Alexander Zinchenko with the back by God's grace.
It's only if Abekasa want to give himself a problem, a selection headache in the team. Because if let's look at the vendors that are on at Arsenal now. We have William Saliba, Gibrima guys. We have Ben White, Takeru Tomiyasu. We have Karen Tierney. We have Olas Ranstenko. Like 6 defenders. They are cool. 7. So if the, let's say Timber as well, making 8, and Timber is out injured, we start 7 players at the ends of affairs. So I don't think the position they really need Timber for is right hand side. And we have like Ben White played there last season, and Tobiyasu can also play there. So if Ivejala brings in another defender, don't forget, Jurgen Timber can come back from injury before his expected date. Yeah. So it's not give the coach selection headache. Let's assume he brought in the defender, and the defender has been doing well for Arsenal, and Jurgen Timber needs to come back. And also, it doesn't reflect in performance at all. And he played very well for Arsenal as well. Then selection headache will start coming in. That's where the result will be divided. So I don't think he should bring in another defender as well. Look at Manchester City. They have Manuel Akanji, they have Dusko Vadio, they have John Stones, Laporte, Eke, and I think Walker, Ruben Diaz. Let's say at least 7 or 8 defenders as well, and they want to remove Laporte out of the team. They want to bring in any defender as well. You should look at another position, maybe the striking option to bring a player in, not to replace Jurgen Timber.
Okay, let's take a look at Chelsea FC with the likes of transfer they have made. We would give Chelsea an applaud that Chelsea have really tried in the transfer market, and they shouldn't go for any other player, and they are good to go for the season. If
I say they can go for any player, I think Chelsea fans out there will need to come for me, because if you look at Chelsea, I don't think in the attacking position they still need one player to join Nicolas Jackson in the striking option. Don't forget Amado Broja is out injured, and there's no definite time. There's no probable time that Amado Broja will come back from injury. So it means they need to find a striker that would be within age range for Nicolas Jackson and Amado Broja, that they will need to fight together for the chance. If they went ahead to go and bring maybe 27, 28 years old striker, there will be issue. Start calling to start game for Chelsea. So I think that they need to bring in a striker, and they need to bring in a winger. Don't forget, just only have a three recognized winger, the likes of Nonima Dueke, Raheem Sterling, and Nicolas Modric. So they at least Chelsea need 2 players in one position. With the got in the middle of the park, at the centre back as well, the wing back, the right back and left side, they got at least 2-3 players to replace 1 or 2 players. But in the right position, no player to fight with Nonima Dueke. If you look at Chelsea game against Liverpool, you will see that the driving force that Nonima Dueke used to, as in how he used to drive defender, how he used to dribble defender. You know, Raheem Sterling doesn't have the tenacity to do such. No, Raheem Sterling loves playing from the left hand side, cutting back to the right hand side and shooting the ball inside the net. And look at Nicolas Modric, he can play from both sides, but most especially Nicolas Modric is very good at playing from the left hand side. So Chelsea are not too good to go yet. At least they still need like 2 players, a center striker and a winger as well. After that, they are good about the business they do. They've done for Latvia and Moise Caicedo. It's very, very good business for Chelsea. Spending that huge amount of money on players that are not even up to 22 years old. Don't forget, Latvia is 19 years old, whereby Moise Caicedo is just 21 years old. And look at the money they spend on them. Look at the money Manchester United spent on Casemiro last season. Almost £65 million. How old is Casemiro? 30 years old. 31, 32 years old. Casemiro cannot give Manchester United a top performance in the next 3-4 years. That's what Chelsea are not getting. A player of 19 years old, 21 years old, that can give Chelsea, at least they can give Chelsea 10 years to keep performance. So with the Moise Caicedo and Latvia deal, Chelsea are very good. And I see Jackson will score a lot of goals for Chelsea as well.
Okay, let's also go to the other side of the blue. That's the Manchester City side. As we say, Bernardo Silva is not available at the moment, and now Guardiola has 2 options: either to reconstruct his formation or to use Foden as a replacement for Bernardo Silva, or Cole Palmer as he has used it against Sevilla in the Super Cup. What would Pep Guardiola do in this case? 2 key players, Kevin De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva.
Guardiola will miss Kevin De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva. but the player that will miss the two of them most is Elibota. Look at the game against Sevilla. He didn't see any clear-cut chances that can use to as into put the ball inside the net. So you will see that he's really missing something in the middle. But look at Manchester City. This team is built around these two players, Kevin De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva. Look at the final of Champions League. Look at the final of the Champions League against Real Madrid. The first leg, you will see the kind of work Bernardo Silva does for Manchester City in terms of defending. Because you look at the first leg, Real Madrid really played so much well in the first leg. But in the second leg, you will now see Kevin De Bruyne did different thing entirely in the second leg, whereby Bernardo Silva had chance to torment Camavinga, and you can see Bernardo Silva scored unusual goal, scoring with his head, and some goal that you wouldn't expect Bernardo Silva not to be there. So it means the team is built around these two players, Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne. There is no how you want to talk about Manchester City performance for the past 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years that you not said Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne are part of the success of Manchester City. So it means they will really miss these two players, and it's very difficult for them to win the game against Newcastle today and 8 p.m. today. Very difficult, and it will not be the time we will know the kind of. We always say Pep Guardiola is an extraordinary coach. Now, this is when we want to know whether he's really extraordinary or not. Because now, he's not out with his true creative midfielder. No doubt about that. Other players, you can't say they are even up to the level of creativity of Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne. Now, it's not left for Phil Foden, Cole Palmer, and Jack Grealish to up their game for Manchester City. If you look at the game against Sevilla, you notice what we're talking about here. That these two players, they really mix their creativity, how they transmit defense into attack, how they make other things to look as if they are playing with 12th man or 13th man on the field of play. Guardiola will miss these two players so much, but it's now depending on the player that will replace them to up their game and convince the manager that they can do better. Okay. I know that Allah will still bring in a player. There's no doubt about that. He will still bring in a player before the end of the transfer market. They will still bring in a player.
Okay, let's take a short break from here. And when we get back from the break, I will discuss on the fixtures coming up today in the Premier League, La Liga, and on all other top leagues. Do stay with us. Thank you.
Thousands have been disappointed severally in their bid to seek greener pasture abroad. To those quack in the traveling agency business, it is a rocket science. That is not our case at TAOHEED Travels and Tour. We have in-depth details on how to successfully, without stress, help you process and secure your visa to anywhere in the world. Do you want permanent residential visa, visiting and tourism visa, student visa to places like Europe, America, Asia, Africa? It's no big deal to us at TAOHEED Travels and Tour. Our years of experience and expertise speaks volume for us. Let's process and secure visa for you to UK, USA, and Canada within a twinkle of an eye. We offer Hajj and Umrah services to our Muslim faithfuls. What are you waiting for? Consult us at Now South Central Mall, Sholanke Street, behind Laroy Hotel, Abiola Way. 0802 730900 or 0806 578 Stop wasting money. Pay for peace of mind to TAOHEED Travels and
gbogbo aláfẹ́ gbayì tó fẹ́ wọṣọ yìí ṣoge tó pàgbàmù ló ń kọjá lọ sí House of Zion. House of Zion, the name I know when we talk of top-notch fashion, quality materials and class. House of Zion máa rojúlówó tó years. Egypt and Malaysia clothing, Dubai, àwọn designer bags lóríṣiríṣi, àwọn ìtẹ̀lẹ́ta tó jiná original ṣe, àwọn aago kájọ́ àwa àyọjọ́, designer sunglasses and perfume pẹ̀lú àwọn gbogbo nǹkan tóbìnrin kò fi ń gbafẹ́ lò gbà. Mo débẹ̀ ojú mi kàmì mú gbogbo ẹ̀yin mùsùlùmí tẹ́ gbòógè fashion tẹ́ wá nílò àbíà ìjà àti àbáyà lóṣì. House of Zion lẹ́yìn tí rí gbogbo ẹ̀rà. House of Zion wà ní 52 Ọlọ́run ṣògo Redeemed Church Gape dáhùn ṣòwò lórí Instagram 08165688618 House of Zayana ilé ìtajà tá a ti ń tojú lówó.
Welcome back to Sportville on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. Moving down to volleyball, African Volleyball Championship. Team Nigeria bounced back to winning ways. Team Nigeria women's volleyball team bounced back strongly to winning ways on Friday evening with a 3-0 spanking of Burundi in their third group game. The Nigeria side started the championship on a winning note, beating Mali 3-0 before losing to the host Cameroon by the same margin in the second group match. Nigeria started the game on the front foot to win the first set 25-17 and did better in the second set 25-14 and wrapped up the last set in a style with a comprehensive win 25-9 to send to warning signal to the remaining teams in the group. Kudos to the Nigerian female volleyball team. Back to football now it's 2-0 Sudan defeating Australia 2-0 at the 66th minute. You now still seeing Australia with a comeback.
Like someone say, I still believe Australia can win.
Okay, so you still believe Australia will win the match, which I don't think that is possible. Okay, yesterday, the Nottingham Forest match against Sheffield United 2-1 with Taiwo Awoniyi and Wood scoring the 9-minute goal for Nottingham Forest and Taiwo Awoniyi with a goal. What is special about this Taiwo Awoniyi?
The goal against Arsenal is a congratulations message to Taiwo Awoniyi because before he scored against Arsenal and his wife gave birth. After giving birth, a week after, he scored second goal. I think his performance last season, look at on the last 6-7 games for Nottingham Forest, he scored throughout the day. Against Chelsea, I can remember last season he scored 2 goals against Chelsea. Same thing against Arsenal as well. And he's very good, fantastic player. To be sincere, I think since his time he joined Liverpool, everybody knows what Taiwo Awoniyi does at the African World Youth Championship. What he does before he joined Liverpool, and he went through various Union Berlin and the likes, and he's now a matured. Don't forget, Taiwo Awoniyi and Victor Osimhen, they are mates together. They are closest friends. So, and you expect him to be on par with Victor Osimhen. It's just quite unfortunate that the kind of progress Victor Osimhen had when he left on 17 is not the kind of progress that Taiwo Awoniyi had. Victor Osimhen, from Wolfsburg to Lille to Napoli, and he has been playing very well there. But you can't compare him with the kind of teams that Taiwo Awoniyi play. And I say Taiwo Awoniyi at least scoring more than 15 goals this season for Nottingham Forest. And after this season, Provincials, Taiwo Awoniyi might get out of Nottingham Forest to have some big teams. I think Liverpool might sit now and be regretting why don't we give this player a chance. But all teams being equal, they can give him a chance and he might not score very well at Liverpool. So he might just need a small team enough for him to get going and start scoring. Look at the guys like Adam Maguire, they got to big team and doesn't perform better. But when they go to smaller teams, they need to perform better enough for the big team to say, kudos to Taiwo Awoniyi, scoring, making Nigeria proud. At least the flag of Nigeria is flying high in England.
Okay, today's match coming up between 3 o'clock p.m. We have a Fulham against Brentford. We have a Liverpool against Bournemouth, Wolves against Brighton, Tottenham against Manchester United, and Manchester City against Newcastle. If you read my lips well, you see when I said Tottenham against Manchester United, I smiled. Tottenham against Manchester United. Before we go to Tottenham against Manchester United, let's discuss on Liverpool against Bournemouth. Don't forget last season there was a Liverpool Bournemouth where Salah had lost a penalty against Bournemouth and Liverpool.
David scored by Billy.
Yeah, by Billy. Bournemouth defeated Liverpool last time, and now this is a second comeback again between Liverpool and Bournemouth in a new season.
Don't forget, this is Anfield. You never walk alone. You know what? When you have games at Anfield, you can't say Liverpool will You can, if you are going to Anfield, you want to go and play against Liverpool. You can't beat your chest and say you want to go and play Liverpool at Anfield. And being their first game in the English Premier League, the fans will want to rise and support them. The kind of lecture bad performance they posted against Chelsea last week, they want to up that game. And don't forget, they bring in a player, Wataru Endo. And I don't think the club will not want to use him. One, it came to from German Bundesliga, Stuttgart. Don't forget that the club is also German as well. And some coaches don't fear putting a player in the first 11. Maybe you just use 2 days, 3 days. You don't fear putting a player in the team. It just depends on the communication gap between the players on the field of play. But all in all, using Wataru Endo or not using Wataru Endo, I still going for Liverpool this season, because if you look at the game, the first 20-25 minutes against Chelsea, you will see the kind of attacking threat that Liverpool possess, and their defense line as well has really improved. Look at Alexander-Arnold. Is now, at least his very style is now has now improved a lot. So I think Liverpool will still go ahead and defeat Bournemouth.
Okay, Wolves Brighton also by 3 o'clock p.m. Brighton Wolves.
I'll go for draw between both sides, because look at the game against Wolves. It's not that they're not clinical enough. You don't score more goals, you know. If you are being deceived by the kind of scoreline between Brentford and I think who they playing
Brighton.
In the first game, Brighton they won 4-1, and you can't just say they will defeat Wolverhampton just like that. You know, the game they played against Manchester United, you will see the kind of energy. They knew they don't have a lot of players in the team. And they know their coach just left the team. They have Pochegi, they have Marcelo Ole, and don't forget the kind of work this guy did for FC Bournemouth last season. It took them from relegation zone, and they need to stay in the English Premier League. So I don't think Brighton will overrun Wolverhampton like that, and I think we'll go for a draw between both sides.
Okay, one of also